We now know that Leela, companion to the Fourth Doctor, who, when she departed travelling with the Doctor, stayed on Gallifrey, survived the Time War, and we know how as well, all thanks to a brand new trailer from the Doctor Who collection Blu-ray sets. The latest one is coming out soon, and it had a trailer featuring End of Time War Leela. But if you thought that was all she got up to in the Time War, well, do I have some Big Finish box sets to tell you about. So let's talk about all of that, the trailer, and what she got up into the Time War on Big Finish in this video. Hi, I'm Phil, welcome to my channel where I like to talk about all the geeky pop culture that I like and consume. We are talking about Leela and how she survived the Time War today because, as I said, there is a brand new trailer for the next season of the collection box sets, the Blu-ray sets that are going through the history of the classic series and releasing them season by season, and the latest one features Leela at the Time War. At the end of the Time War, as the Daleks are firing down on Gallifrey, and she stood away from the city watching the destruction, lamenting on how far this has come. So this is presumably the end battle where we saw, which we've seen from multiple perspectives now. We saw it from the War Doctor's perspective when he was walking through and going to get the moment. It's sort of around about that time period, the final battle of the Time War. So while she stood on that cliff, the War Doctor is probably somewhere, either walking through the destruction in the city as we saw in, or the town as we saw it in Day of the Doctor, or out in the barn, heading towards the barn, somewhere like that. That's where he is. But Leela stood there watching the destruction and lamenting. And another soldier comes up and says to her that the Doctor wants her to survive and has a device, possibly that he got from the same place as he got the moment. Maybe the War Doctor went and got that and then sent it to go with Leela. And it's a teleport device which she uses just in time because some Daleks come and attack and are about to exterminate her. She uses the device and teleports away. And doesn't just teleport away, she seems to materialise on the TARDIS, but back in the Fourth Doctor's era, which may tie nicely into where Big Finish has her for the remainder of her life. I'll get back to that in a minute. Now let's talk about the Gallifrey series on Big Finish. Big Finish, if you don't know, are the spin-off audio dramas set within the world of Doctor Who, officially licensed. They are the official audio dramas. And for 20 years now, there's been this series called Gallifrey, set on Gallifrey. It predates the revival series by a few years, and it is one of my favourite Big Finish series. It's got a great cast of characters, including Leela. It's also, in the early years, got Romana, K9, two versions of K9 in fact, and some great original characters like Narvin and some characters from the novels like Braxiatel. There's a lot going on, but it's really interesting. The early series are kind of like, it was described as kind of like Doctor Who meets The West Wing, political intrigue, political drama. But that was all before the Time War. When the Time War broke out, Romana was president, and Leela was her confidant, her friend, her ally, and working with her quite a lot in quite a close capacity on Gallifrey. And that section of the Gallifrey, this is the original Gallifrey first series, by the way, and there were multiple series of that pre-Time War, but when we finally get into the Time War, this is the first box set, Gallifrey Time War 1, and it charts the initial 4 box sets of this kind of chart the political situation on Gallifrey at the beginning of the Time War, with Romana being there trying to do what she can, and unfortunately the rise and the resurrection of Rassilon is also dealt with in this box set. That ends on quite a big cliffhanger with the character of Narvin and Romana getting exiled, and Leela kind of being in a precarious position politically. Which is where we get to this, Gallifrey War Room. This is the next era of sort of Gallifrey during the Time War, and again it sees Leela front and centre in this series. At the time, we are up to box set 2 of this. She's currently in a precarious position. She's almost held hostage on Gallifrey now. She is against Rassilon as a leader, and is quite adversarial to him and his entourage and his sort of the cult of Rassilon as it kind of becomes. Now, obviously, we don't necessarily know how she gets from the end of this box set, where she's kind of working with a rebellion against Rassilon, as well as still being within the sort of central hub of Gallifrey life. She's also sort of working as a slight double agent and working with the rebellion against him. How she gets from there to where she is in this trailer, where she seemingly has a rank in the military of some kind. I can't remember what rank it was now, but the other soldier definitely referred to her as something.
Commander! Commander!
We don't know much about what happened in that time. There is another audio where it's revealed, a War Doctor audio, where it's revealed she gets captured at some point and sort of lost in time for a while and goes missing, but the War Doctor recovers her and returns her to Gallifrey back to the fight. Now, I said earlier that there was a possible nice tie-in with some other Big Finish audios that are separate from the Gallifrey series here, because, as I said in the trailer, she gets returned to the Fourth Doctor. Now, I haven't listened to these audios myself. I only know what I have read in just quickly looking up for this video, so I apologise if I get something slightly wrong. But it appears that she did some travelling in her later years with the Fourth Doctor after the Time War. She goes back to him, and that's chronicled in some of the companion chronicles. We know this must be afterwards because it leads up to her death, basically. So she is then, there's these companion chronicles, a series of them that lead up until her death. All I can tell you is what is on TARDIS Wiki, which says that Leela survived the supposed destruction of Gallifrey. She ended up a prisoner of the Z-N-A-I, Z''N''A'. She eventually died in the Z-N''A prison, in the audio, the Time Vampire. So hey, Leela survived the Time War, possibly to die in a prison later on, but hey, let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on the semi-happy ending we've got in this trailer here. What do you think about this? Are you glad she survived? I'm interested now to see what Big Finish do in connecting the dots to this trailer. Will they do that in the Time War series? They might not have known about it, so hopefully what they do with her in the rest of War Room doesn't end up contradicting it, but we'll see. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back for more Doctor Who videos soon. Goodbye.